Deep within the lush landscapes of South and Southeast Asia, a formidable pathogen lurks. It's a virus that emerges silently, moving from its natural animal host to humans with devastating consequences. This is the story of the Nipah virus, a public health challenge that has repeatedly tested the resilience of communities and healthcare systems, particularly in India. First identified in 1999 during an outbreak among pig farmers in Malaysia, the Nipah virus, or Neve, is a zoonotic virus. This means it can be transmitted from animals to humans. The natural hosts for Nipah are fruit bats of the Pteropus genus, often called flying foxes. These bats carry the virus without getting sick themselves, acting as a natural reservoir. The transmission to humans is often indirect. Fruit bats can contaminate fruits, such as mangoes or dates, with their saliva or urine. When humans consume these contaminated fruits, they can become infected. Another common route is through intermediate hosts, like pigs. In the initial Malaysian outbreak, pigs were infected after coming into contact with bat excretions, and the virus then spread from pigs to humans. Direct contact with infected bats or their bodily fluids is also a potential, though less common, route of infection. Once a person is infected, the virus can spread from person to person. This human-to-human transmission typically occurs through close contact with an infected individual's respiratory secretions, saliva, or other bodily fluids. This makes healthcare workers and family members caring for infected patients particularly vulnerable. The symptoms of Nipah virus infection can be severe and escalate quickly. Initially, they might resemble the flu: fever, headache, muscle pain, vomiting, and a sore throat. This can be followed by dizziness, drowsiness, and altered consciousness, indicating acute encephalitis, which is an inflammation of the brain. Some patients may also experience atypical pneumonia and severe respiratory problems, including acute respiratory distress. In severe cases, encephalitis and seizures can occur, progressing to a coma within 24 to 48 hours. The incubation period, the time from exposure to the onset of symptoms, ranges from 4 to 14 days, although longer periods have been reported. What makes Nipah particularly alarming is its high mortality rate. According to the World Health Organization, the case fatality rate is estimated to be between 40% and 75%. This figure can vary depending on the specific outbreak and the availability of quality healthcare. Currently, there is no specific vaccine or antiviral drug for Nipah virus. Treatment is primarily supportive care, focusing on managing symptoms, providing respiratory and neurological support, and preventing further complications. India has faced several Nipah outbreaks, each providing critical lessons in public health response. The first recorded outbreak in the country occurred in Siliguri, West Bengal, in 2001. A second outbreak followed in Nadia district, West Bengal, in 2007. However, it was the 2018 outbreak in the Kozhikode and Malappuram districts of Kerala that brought Nipah into the national spotlight. In May 2018, Kerala's robust public health system was put to the test. The outbreak began with a cluster of mysterious deaths in a single family. Doctors, noticing the unusual severity and rapid progression of the illness, quickly alerted health authorities. Samples were sent for analysis, and within a short period, the cause was confirmed: Nipah virus. The state's response was swift and coordinated. A multidisciplinary team involving experts in epidemiology, virology, and clinical management was assembled. The primary strategy was containment, breaking the chain of transmission. This involved a meticulous process known as contact tracing. Every person who had come into contact with a confirmed or suspected case was identified, monitored, and, if necessary, isolated. Hospitals established dedicated isolation wards to care for patients and prevent nosocomial, or hospital-acquired, infections. Healthcare workers were provided with and trained in the use of personal protective equipment, or PPE. Public awareness campaigns were launched across the state, disseminating accurate information about the virus, its symptoms, and preventive measures. These messages urged people to avoid consuming fallen fruits, especially those that might have been partially eaten by bats, and to practice good hygiene. The source of the 2018 outbreak was traced back to fruit bats. Bat colonies were found in a well at the home of the initial cluster of cases, and viral RNA was later detected in some bats in the area, although not the specific Nipah virus strain from the outbreak. The 2018 Kerala outbreak was ultimately contained with 23 identified cases and 21 deaths. The world praised Kerala's efficient handling of the crisis, which showcased the importance of a strong, well-prepared public health infrastructure. Unfortunately, this was not the end of Kerala's battle with Nipah. The virus resurfaced in the state in 2019, 2021, and again in 2023, each time in the Kozhikode district. Each subsequent outbreak, though smaller and more quickly contained, served as a stark reminder of the virus's persistent threat. The 2023 outbreak in Kozhikode once again saw the state machinery spring into action. Containment zones were established, schools and public gatherings were temporarily suspended, and extensive testing and contact tracing were implemented. Mobile testing labs were deployed, and for the first time, India utilized a monoclonal antibody treatment, imported from Australia, for some patients on a compassionate use basis. Although the efficacy of this treatment is still under investigation, its use represented a significant step in exploring potential therapeutic options. The recurrent nature of these outbreaks highlights the complex interplay between human activities, wildlife habitats, and emerging infectious diseases. Deforestation and urbanization can bring humans and livestock into closer contact with natural reservoirs like fruit bats, increasing the risk of spillover events. In response, India's public health strategy has evolved to include a One Health approach. This approach recognizes that the health of people is closely connected to the health of animals and our shared environment. It involves collaboration between human health, animal health, and environmental experts. Surveillance is a key component of this strategy. This includes monitoring bat populations for the virus, as well as maintaining a high index of suspicion for any unusual clusters of encephalitis or respiratory illness in humans. The Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Institute of Virology in Pune play a crucial role in this surveillance and in the rapid diagnosis of suspected cases. Their capacity for quick genetic sequencing of the virus is vital for understanding its origin and tracking its spread during an outbreak. Research into vaccines and treatments is ongoing globally. The Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, or CEPI, is supporting the development of several candidate vaccines for Nipah. While a commercially available vaccine is still some years away, the progress is promising. For now, prevention remains the most effective tool. This involves simple but crucial measures. In areas where Nipah is known to exist, people should avoid consuming raw date palm sap, which can be contaminated by bats. Fruits that show signs of bat bites should be discarded. Washing fruits thoroughly and peeling them before eating is also recommended. When visiting areas with known bat colonies, direct contact with bats and their droppings should be avoided. For healthcare workers, strict adherence to infection control protocols is non-negotiable. The story of Nipah in India is a story of scientific detective work, courageous frontline healthcare workers, and a public health system learning and adapting in the face of a deadly threat. It underscores the reality that in our interconnected world, an outbreak anywhere can be a threat everywhere. Continued vigilance, investment in public health infrastructure, and international collaboration are our best defenses against Nipah and other emerging infectious diseases that may lie on the horizon. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on science and public health. Stay safe and stay informed.